Hi, guys, and welcome to Reality with T. So, I am going to do two episodes together of Tamar Get Your Life because I didn't get to do last week, so what have you. So, last week's notes are old, so I'm just going to kind of skim over that, what I remember, then I'll talk about last night's. So, the beginning of the episode, Tamar finds out that they wanted Goli to wear something pink so that people wouldn't think she was a witch. She had no idea they asked her to do that, so she apologized. She's like, pretty much you can be yourself. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that that was going on. Um, so now this episode, what I see, and I'm disappointed in Goldie for this because to me, maybe I don't know how I should be viewing her as a life coach and a dream coach or whatever it is, but to me, I feel like you're there with a client. So I'm looking at her as more of a therapist and she's allowing her emotions to get involved into this. She's now in a power struggle between her and David over Tamar. And it's almost like they're both now trying to pull Tamar their direction. David sees Goli as a threat and she sees him as a threat because he's interfering with our work. I know he's not good for her, so I want to get her to see that. But now it's almost like a pull, a tug of war, and Tamar's in the middle, and it's too much for her. And I notice the way that Tamar often copes with things is she often says, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, I'm gonna take a nap." And sometimes I deal with stress that way as well. It's like, okay, you're just avoiding it. Let me just go to sleep. I don't have to think about it. And I guess it's more healthy than doing other things. Like, let me get a drink, let me smoke, let me do whatever. But it's just something that I noticed. So, and it can be, she's probably overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Like, you do that when it's too much. Like, let me just go to sleep. You know what I mean? I can't deal with this. Let me just check out of the situation. And I see her say that a lot over the course of like the 5 episodes that they've shown already. So, you know, David wants to question Goli about where it seems like he sees her as like a medium. And it's like, there's something about dreams. He's very Christian. He's talking about the Bible. He's questioning her, where in the Bible is this? Where in the Bible do you find that this is okay? Where in the Bible do you find blah, 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 blah. And so his whole thing is, I have a right to question it. I have a right to ask questions. And Goli's thing is, well, he's afraid of the goodness I'm going to give Tamar. That's what she says. He's afraid that he will lose her. And he is afraid that he's going to lose her, that this woman's going to give her so much insight into him, make her feel so much better about herself that she doesn't need him anymore. And she will start to see, his intentions. That's what I think. So, he talks about, he wants to find out the source of her power. Where does that come from? The spirit source is not from God. And I mean, I'm also, I identify as Christian, and, we are not supposed to go seek mediums and things like that because we are told that energy, that information, God did not give us insight of what was going to happen tomorrow. So those insights, people do have them, but they come from another source, which would be a source of evil. He is trying to say that Goli is that evil. Goli is getting the source of her information is coming from evil. But in reality, Goli is not seeking. She's not a psychic. She's not seeking answers. She's just putting together and she's just interpreting dreams that Tamar has. And a dream is just basically, it's a reenactment of your unconscious. So you have different things going on in your mind where you have thoughts, you might have insecurities, you might have things that you're afraid of, you might have things you're afraid of, you might have things that you're proud of, something that makes you happy, whatever. They're reenacted in different ways. There's symbols that are happening in your dreams. And I have some very intense dreams sometimes. Like sometimes I wake up and I text people so random. I haven't talked to them in years. You were in my dream, just to let them know that they were in my dream. And I should really write them down because sometimes it's so intense I remember it step by step. And sometimes I wake up and I can't remember certain parts of it. But if you write them down, maybe I could start to interpret them. But she's not conjuring up, answers to, or, whatever it is that he thinks that she's doing. She's not doing that. She's just interpreting dreams in order to figure out what's blocking Tamar from reaching her highest potential. So, so she basically is saying this is Jungian psychology. And he keeps saying, give me the Bible verse that this comes from, and asking about the process. And, Goli has an issue that he has such an opinion. I'm looking at my hair flying all over the place. He has such an opinion of what's going on in Tamar's life. And she also does say he's threatened by her presence. And then she starts to question, well, Tamar twerks on stage. Where in the Bible is that? You tell me where in the Bible that is. She's asking everybody else. And then at one point, she goes to Tamar and says, well, when you twerk on stage, where in the Bible is that? And I think that's kind of funny because I'm like, now if I would Tamar, I would feel like, why are you coming at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so why are you even coming to me like that? You know what I mean? What are you trying to say? That because I twerk on stage, I'm less Christian or I'm less of the Bible, whatever it is. Like, I just feel like Goli is now unfocused. He put her off he took her off her game, which is what he wants to do. Now she's unfocused. Now she's focusing on what he is, focusing on. And it's completely, now you're offending your client because now you're saying I'm not godly because I twerk on stage. Whatever. I'm not getting into the opinion on that. But my point is this is not the goal of what you're supposed to be doing, right? So, at this point, after all this, they don't even want to do, I think Tamar says she doesn't even want to do dream work today. This is too much. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that you can't, how can you sit down and process what's going on in your subconscious mind when all of this is going on around you externally, external distractions? Now I can't focus on what's going on with me. And I think that's what's been happening this entire season with Tamar. So at that point, she says, I'm worn out. I'm going to go to sleep. Right? So now Tamar wants to plan this huge 50th birthday party for David, right? She has, she talks about how she's been handling her own bookings. She's going to be planning this birthday party on her own. She also is doing a performance with her friend Todrick. And it's his set, it's his concert, but he's giving her a slot where she can do 2 or 3 songs. And so, basically she was praising him because she says, Todrick did all of this stuff himself. He did the stage setting, the lineup, the everything, he did it all on his own. So, she performed. It was amazing. Goli is blown away. It's funny because, and then they watch the show together. Goli standing next to David. They say nothing to each other. Tamar watching their friend Todrick, and, they all had a good time. So afterwards, they're all sitting backstage, and you see Tamar and David are on their phone, distracted, not really thinking about what Goli's saying. Goli is saying, Tamar, you're amazing. You're the most beautiful person on the planet. I love you. This and that. The first thing I noticed was that nobody's listening to her. They're on their phones. But then I was like, this is so inappropriate. It was just really weird the way Tamar is focused on the phone and she's just like, you're so amazing. I love you. I love you. Like, you're the most amazing person. You're the most beautiful person in the world. I don't know if that's what I look at. Ayanna Van Zandt, she's a life coach. She's not doing that. To me, that would have made me feel a little uncomfortable because now we're kind of mixing what is your job and whatever this is. I don't know if you're just affirming me, if you're just trying to raise my self-esteem or make me, a good compliment or two on my performance would have been great, but you're the most beautiful person in the world. To me, it was just getting very uncomfortable for even me watching. It was weird. So, so then you see, then now Goli is going to meet with Tamar, right? They're going to have a discussion about everything that happened between Goli and David and Tamar, the whole thing. So Goli is sitting at a restaurant waiting for her. There's also a bar section. So Goli has been waiting now for an hour, and Tamar is sitting right there in front of her at the bar with a friend, laughing on the phone, joking, eating her chicken wings. You know how she does the whole thing. And so the whole thing, it was so disrespectful. It was so rude to have said to somebody, I'm going to meet you to eat at 8, and you're sitting over there right in front of her face, not acknowledging her, but eating, and then and making her wait. So, Goli's telling the producers, like, I feel very disrespected. I'm not, why is she sitting over there? Why is she not addressing me? Blah, 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 whatever. So now, when Tamar finally comes over, then I realized Tamar this was a power play for her. You guys have gotten out of control. David's out of control. Goli's out of control. This whole thing between you two is out of control. And now it's affecting me. So when she says, I'm going to meet up with you, we're going to discuss everything. But wait a minute. You're going to wait. You're going to wait for me because you're on my time right now. And when I come and sit down with you, I'm going to lay down the law. That's what she did. So that was a power play because it's like she's sitting up there. Now you're getting upset. Now I'm kind of controlling how you feel, the way you guys have been doing to me. And I'm going to take my time and I'm going to come over when I'm ready. I'm going to make you late. I'm going to make you late and wait for me. And then when I come over there, I'm going to lay down the law. And that's what I think she did. So she comes to sit down, and the way she starts talking is like, basically, this is not a conversation. This is me telling you how it is going to go. This is what it is, and this is how it's going to go moving forward. So at first, Goli told her, I got offended by the Bible questions. I didn't get to put him in his place about that. I shouldn't be questioned about the Bible. I'm not evil, the whole thing. But she said, I didn't want to disrespect him or you in confronting him. And so Tamar, but the thing I had with Goldie was, I feel like she's trying to get Tamar on her side. The way she's talking about David is as if we're gossiping about him together. He was disrespecting me. I just felt like it was kind of gossipy and kind of like, you and I should be on the same team, and let's kind of get him out of here. So Tamar says, listen, he'll come around when or if he ever comes around. That's his thing, right? The energy from everybody is too much, and it is too much. I'm saying that just watching, right? So she tells Goli, I was blocked. You helped me with my creativity. You helped to unblock me. She said, now she takes the blame. I allowed his opinion to affect the work that I'm doing with you. I invited him to the party, and she apologized for that. And she said, but basically moving forward, I will not allow him to do that. I will not allow his opinion to affect what we're doing. She said, I don't want, she calls her my goalie. You're my goalie. Basically, I don't want you to go where you are. But she basically laid down, listen, I love him. When I met him, everything was electric. He is my partner. He isn't going anywhere, and I will check him and keep him on this side. At the same time, I like the work that I'm doing with you, so I will keep you on this side, and that's it. I will not let him bother you anymore. You guys are on two separate playing fields. If he comes around, he doesn't, but he's still going to be my man, and you are going to have to relax and not let him get to you in this way. And that's basically what she laid down. And then when she left, Goli says, I kind of feel like maybe she took the blame in order to protect him or defend him. She took the blame on herself. I do see Tamar did invite him to the party. This should have nothing to do with him. Everything that she's doing, the reality show, the whole thing should have nothing to do with him. She did invite him to the party. She did allow his opinions to affect what was going on with her and Goli. She allowed his opinions to affect how the producers and everybody treated Goli, whatever. At the same time, Goli needs more of a backbone. She allowed him to take her off her game, to become very emotional, to become very personal, to bring that into her relationship with her client and into her job. And like she says, I'm not on my A game. You know what I mean? Because you are now allowing him to bring this side out of you. So to me, I feel like everybody's wrong in a certain way, and that's just my opinion. But let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk about it soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.